With scaling being removed from the game, this feature is actually going to matter now. Before I go any further, I do want to mention scaling won't be completely removed from the game, as seasonal areas are still going to be scaled, as well as some other events that will be scaled as well. But the majority of the game is probably going to have its scaling removed, as the devs have mentioned removing scaling. And upon doing so, that means that our stats are now valuable. Our stats will actually mean something. And that, in turn, means that this feature I'll show you in this video will actually mean something. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and tap that like button, smash subscribe, and hit the notification so you don't miss any of my content. A lot of my viewers are not subscribers, so I really appreciate it if you can tap that sub button. The person you're going to want to talk to is Maximus, and the feature I'm talking about is the Infusion, and not just that actually, because Augment is also very important. Now these are two things that I basically steered away from because of scaling. One reason was the amount of gold it costs to infuse things. To me, it just was, it gets really costly and just wasn't really worth it. And the main reason, of course, was the scaling just made it made stats useless. At that point, when scaling started taking over the game, I basically stopped trying to work on my stats because it really didn't make much of a difference. If I was running scaled gear or if I was running, high-end gear, I was still killing the mobs in roughly the same amount of time. Really didn't seem to make much of a difference. But now with scaling being removed, this is going to have impact again. I'm a little confused why this is saying it's 89% lower attack when this is higher, because the attack I have right now is only 4,405, so I don't know how that's making it lower. But upon infusing your weapons, you will make them ultimately stronger. Not sure why this is showcasing it weird, but... And then the other thing I wanted to mention was the Augment. And this is something that it's been large. This is another thing that costs a lot of gold, and it just largely another thing to spend gold on that increases your stats, but to me just wasn't worth it because of the scaling. Now with scaling gone, or with scaling being removed from the game and stats being important again, things like this have now taken priority. And the reason why is because you actually can impact your stats, which will now make an actual difference, which is so much better. I always try to go for the, like this one here is good. I mean, this is decent. I'm giving myself good attack, crit, and haste. The only con with putting infusions on is the fact that it does cost a lot of gold. That is the only con when it comes to these. And I feel, although I'm a little confused, why does this cost 5,000, but the pieces of armor cost 4,900? They're the same rarity. That's got to be it, because the power level's higher. Okay. So you'd want to make sure to have plenty of gold in order to do this, but once you get your level 50 gear, which I'm obviously not there yet, but when we do get, or when you are at level 50 and you do get your level 50 gear, this is definitely something you might want to do, because that is going to make you punch so much harder in non-scaled areas. Now, to some of you, this video might seem kind of pointless because you're showing us a feature we already know about. But the thing is, like me, there was a lot of other people that were completely avoiding Infusion and Augments because of scaling. Now, with scaling being removed, I figure it's a good time to start reminding ourselves that these things exist and we can become more powerful. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.